Is anyone not ready? They said I was to against Obama. As soon as Obama perceives that he's losing the election, he will strike. Alright, can see during coming out of the 1AR. You should view the legislative time frame first, because it means only the DA can do the case, not the other way around. Or just evidence indicates Obama would strike in October before the election happens. Guarantees none of their impacts happen quickly there. The only impact time from the 1AR was 2050 for the energy crash in on the DA. That's way after the DA happens. Or Collins indicates we have probability indicates falls the most qualified because on the floor indicates because great power because U.S. is tracking around would draw in other nations, even if Iran can attack, we would draw in other nations and escalate guarantees. It would probably mess up the global system turns the cases because as soon as the strike happens, it would as soon as the strike happens, it prevents us from solving the energy crash. It obviously turns resource wars because resources would be diminished in a world where global nuclear war has happened and there would be fights over the only resources left. Obviously diminishes U.S. and Germany because the other countries would be seeing Obama is striking, which completely wrecks his credibility abroad. It also obviously turns a disease advantage because radioactivity causes mutations, which guarantees a spread. Also turns failed states because it would collapse states globally because a nuclear war would escalate. Also turns science diplomacy and prevents our ability to deploy it abroad. Also turns Obama power for the same reason. It turns to Germany now. The uniqueness debate, or top of the flow. Concede all of your uniqueness arguments, at least advocates Obama will win now to close. The kind of advocates the habit is not like ourselves, instead advocates it's a close, but it's going to go for Obama and our hate advocates. Like the newest polls that indicates he'll win our civil advocates surrounding momentum is limited, which guarantees that happens. They can't win any legal offense here because they can see the uniqueness controls direction of Lincoln. If Obama's winning now, he can't win the election more. If you pass the plan now, they say fusion won't win the election. It's not perceived, but there's a couple link arguments that they don't answer. They don't answer that there's the what evidence indicates there's public ignorance because the plan would be spun as just nuclear power, regardless of whether it's fission or not. Specificity doesn't matter what the public are sure evidence to get the plan forces Obama to take a stand, which means that either he loses his base or he loses swing voters, which either he loses base or loses swing voters. Either way, the affirmative links that the gamble indicates that anti-nuclear groups and environmental groups hate the plan. They means they won't turn out for Obama or Slivda as the one that sees Slivda indicates that turnout is key. The re-election is key to get and the votes are very indicates Americans don't think that that nuclear power is clean, which means they won't. We would see that even if fusion is perceived uniquely, Americans won't think it's clean, which guarantees that they just perceive it like it's fission. The trend indicates that challengers will spin the plan to make it look like fusion, which guarantees that people think it's dirty. They say, I already answered all the non-perceived arguments. They say Obama won't perceive turnout. This is a completely new argument. Yes, he's obviously looking at his poll numbers to see how he's doing, which guarantees that he would strike around in October. They say environmental independence not key. There's no warrant for this argument. All of our link arguments answer this about why turnout is key. Answer this there. Crowd evidence indicates there's no support for the plan. Our Gibson evidence indicates the public is very skeptical of fusion power, and they see it as expensive. Our Shorten evidence indicates that independents are the largest zoning block in spending. New spending efforts to increase before the plans obviously precedes the spending because it goes towards R&D. The lab evidence indicates Obama is backing off nuclear power now, which provides uniqueness for all of our link arguments. Also, the last argument here is there's no retaliation, but they didn't answer our spin arguments. Indicates that their evidence assumes Israel strikes, not Obama. As soon as Obama strikes, he would draw another cause because there's allies of both Iran and the United States. Also, I've already explained in call evidence on the overview would cause Iran retaliation. Even as soon as Obama is perceived as attacking, they would start to strike. Also, it causes other nations to draw. Iran would retaliate, escalating to regional warfare, prefer simulation, Shanker 12E, likely Italian response or Iranian response to retaliate launch, which is Israel terror style attacks on U.S. military personnel. Iran would calibrated response against Iranian terrorists targeting the Australian military command to attack Iran's organization that caution may operate semi-rogue fashion, similar to Washington, when some of these strikes happen again, you counter on the attacker's back. It's high risk for the DA. Okay. Not going forward with these methods not first, they don't have any offense here. Okay, the alternative was control. That's all I'm saying. Really mess up here. The only warrant extended in the 1AR was that money is key. They don't answer 4 pieces of it. So slash out indicates there's no fusion until 2050. Even if they give money, the researchers won't be able to do the fusion reaction until that time, which means that they can't solve any of their energy crash arguments because that is the time frame that they have said it will happen. The affirmative evidence indicates that the plan would take 10 years to cause huge startup costs. Even if they do provide the startup costs, there's a lack of testing in the status quo, which means that they would have to do a ton of testing, which would take 10 years. Even if they get the money, the slash out indicates that the MIT researchers that they give money to, the research institutions to do fusion reactions. The MIT researchers they give money to, they say themselves that there are too many logistical hurdles to do it in time. The Murphy evidence in the 2NC indicates the Coulomb barrier means protons won't physically be able to get together. Regardless of how much money you throw at the program, they physically can't do it. really high threshold here, independent reason to vote negative on presumption. They do not solve the case. No new 2AR arguments. There's barely a warrant here in the 1AR. You should hold the 2AR to a very high standard. The leadership advantage. The only impact they sent here was science diplomacy. The Dickinson evidence indicates that science diplomacy is too politicized and inevitably does more damage because we have a lack of ability to deploy it abroad, and our allies see it as ineffective. He only says this results in cooperation. He does not extend a terminal impact to science diplomacy, a reason why it causes war. The DA obviously turns it faster, and that is a long time from the development advantage. Energy crisis is 50 years away. The only impact they extend to the energy crisis is it would cause resource wars. They've conceded that the 1AC crossings, the resource wars evidence has no warrant in it. The Salinger evidence indicates empirics and studies prove that they won't happen. They conceded that hegemony is inevitable because our allies can fill in, which is a war conceded. Even if hegemony declines, our allies will bandwagon, which solves the terminal impact. Diseases burn out faster than they can cause instability. They can see the Posner evidence. They burn, and the second piece of evidence I read in the 2NC about why they burn out faster. There's no impact of failed states. Logan Preve evidence indicates their evidence is based on flawed studies of failed states. The DA obviously turns all this faster. All their impacts have a really long time frame. There's a high risk of a quick DA impact. Please you go next. You want to see this card?
510?
I think he.